So this is just a demo video for how to play Let Her Go by Passenger. It's a slightly easier version than the actual recorded song, which you might find in a Passenger tab book or some other places on the internet, but it's still got all of the main features of the song. So to begin with, I'm just going to play it through. This is just like the introduction and first verse. 1, 2. One, two. So the first thing you're going to need to practice is the first chord, F major. Now, if you're familiar with playing a regular E shape bar chord, with the capo at the 7th fret, that's going to look like you're playing your 8th fret and then your 10th, 10th, 9th, and then your 8th fret and 8th fret on the top 2 strings. If you're familiar with playing that chord, this is really similar. What you need to do is you need to bring your thumb over the top of the neck and use your thumb for the low E string. What that does is it means that you can actually use your 1st, 2nd and 3rd fingers to play the D, G and B strings. So with your capo on, your thumb's playing your E string. Your A string should not be pressed down, but you should be muting it with the tip of your 3rd finger. And your 3rd finger should be on the 3rd fret D string. Your 2nd finger should be on the 2nd fret G string. And your 1st finger should be on the 1st fret B string. So you've got 4 notes pressed down there. What that does is it means your little finger's now free to add extra notes in. Jimi Hendrix does this all the time. It's a really common chord shape in general sort of blues music as well. And the first thing you should try and practice is the sort of hook of the guitar part, which everyone recognises as this song, which is that part there. Now, with any finger picking song, especially one which is as complicated as this, you're going to get little variations on the same parts. So I recommend that you practice this part of the song playing the G6 chord shape, which is your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret, the bottom string, your little finger on the 3rd fret B string. And what you're going to do there is don't play your low E string right at the start. You just need to play your B and your E string. But using that chord shape, keep that chord shape fretted right at the start, because you're going to actually play that low note later on. So you might as well practice it all the way through. So what you need to do there is start on your B string, play your E afterwards, open, go back to your B string, and then change your 1st finger onto the B string. So you end up playing 3, open, 3, 1, B, E, B, B. Look at my right hand, I'm using my index finger for the 1st string. The first note you play, it's actually the B string. B, E, B, B. So you're going index, middle, index, middle. Practice that over and over until you can play it fluently. Also, throughout this song you need to let the notes ring, let them all overlap. So that means that when you're finished playing a note, if you can leave the finger held on the note, leave it there, don't take it off. There's no need to take that little finger off after you've played it. If you do, it'll go like this. And it just won't overlap as much and sound as, as full. So that's one part you have to have smooth before you can join it all up together. The next thing to try is the main sort of finger picking pattern. Again, this is what's slightly different from the actual recorded version, but this is the main part that he's playing. The reason why I've changed this is because when an experienced guitarist is playing a song, they won't play it perfectly all the way through. You know, this is not classical music we're playing, it's pop and rock music. So there'll be slight little differences and extra notes added in here and there. It's okay if you add those notes in by accident later on, providing that you're still playing the main picking pattern. So the main picking pattern goes like this. You start off, again, back on your F chord, play your E string and your G string together at the same time. And then play your D string and your B string together at the same time. So you get these two pairs. After that, you need to play those two pairs of notes again, but you're going to break them up and play them one at a time. And that goes thumb, index, E, G, that's those two strings, E, G, D, B. So the full part together goes, listen again. Now you need to be able to repeat that steadily over and over again like this. Always make sure that you're using your thumb for the bottom three strings. So your thumb is always playing E and D. And then you alternate from your first and your second finger, index and middle. So you're playing thumb and index, thumb and middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle. You also play that same pattern on an A minor chord. This is just a normal open A minor chord. All you need to do is move your thumb from your E string onto your A string, because now you're playing an A chord. And that sounds like this. So for my students who might be watching this video, that's bar 1 on the tab after the repeat bar, and then bar 7. That's each of those bars just repeated over and over again. So practice playing those two chords with the same picking pattern. You can just repeat those over and over again until you can play them fluently. What you should try then is put the hook, the intro, with the chord part. So what you need to do is you start playing your F chord like normal, and you're going to play it like this. Okay, so when you would again repeat don't do that again. Play the little hook part, and this is the time when you need to also pick your low E string so that you get the bottom string ringing. So this is the first two bars, the picking pattern with the hook added together. Hook, again. From that point, you can then do the same thing with your A minor chord. So those two parts we've played there with F and A minor are really the main part of the song. If you can play those two parts and join them together, you're going to have a really good chance at playing it in full. So after you can do those two different practice loops, go through, look at the tab and add in the extra little notes, because your left hand is sometimes putting a couple of little notes in. For example, which bar is it? If you look on, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bar 6. You've got an F chord, and your little finger is playing the 3rd fret on the top string, like that. You're playing both E strings, and then up onto your D and B, like normal. So that's instead of going, it goes like this. And then you play a similar type of hook, but it's a little bit different. So again, that's your G6 chord, but you're starting this time with your first finger on the B, still playing your bottom string with it as well. Then your little finger goes onto 3. Then your thumb plays D, and then E. So that's bar 6, which again is slightly different to the other main parts of the song. Okay, so I hope you found this video useful. Again, you can go and look for a tab which is exactly like how he's played it on the record if you want to record, whatever, on the song. If you want to play it exactly like he does, but I really would recommend looking at a sort of easier version like this to begin with. Once you can play this, it's really easy to add all the little extra nuances in, like the little hammer-ons which he adds in for extra chords.